So we're loading in here to Mamba the Dead. Now this operation is going to take place right after Mamba Bleed Out, which was last week's operation. Now I've gone through here and I've spawned a few things in Editor, but other than that, it's very bare bones. We're actually going to do the MCC setup. That's going to be live in the operation. Now, unless something happens between now and then, everything that you're seeing spawned here is going to be there in the operation. So first things first, I'm going to let MCC sync up, and then I'm going to log in with my view distance settings. And the very first thing that I'm going to do, because I already screwed this up once, is set the start location. I find that doing this first and foremost before you spawn anything helps get rid of that dual interface bug that can come up in Zeus sometimes, where you'll put something down and then you'll go to edit this and you'll click OK, and then it'll pop up again. You have to click OK again, reconfirm your settings like twice over for everything. So if you put a start location down first, that generally doesn't happen. But anyway, let's get on with the mission. As far as assets go, this is all we got. No, we secured this last mission, so we have it again this mission. Moving forward, keeping in mind that everything in these missions moving forward is acquire on site. The only asset that we had last week that didn't make a return this week was the damaged Mohawk. Now there's a storyline reason for that. I don't know if you've watched the trailer video, but during that trailer video, that Mohawk is actually blown up. We used that as a diversion to evac the area. We took a bunch of CSAT guys, put a bunch of NATO gear on them, stuffed them in our helicopter, started up the engines, and as soon as the CSAT saw that chopper spinning up, they were able to pinpoint our location, and they came in and blew it up. When they came to check out the area, all they were able to find was basically a bunch of guys dressed in NATO gear, bodies charred. So whether they bought it or not, we don't know, but that gave us the opportunity we need to evac the area, and that's where we find ourselves this week. So this is our new starting location here. Let's see. So we're here. Last week we were over here, now we're over here. And the area of operation this week is going to be this. We're actually going to go to, what is this, Thronos? I want to say. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but the castle up here is going to be the base that we're looking to take. Now, if we successfully take this tonight, I plan to use this as the staging point for many of the operations moving forward from this point. So let's go over there and see what we got spawned in. Alright, so not very much. We got a few things. I see it didn't save my turret location properly. But yeah, so there's not a lot here. Dang it. Oh well. Sometimes this is, there we go. Does not want to play nice. That's good enough. Alright, so back here they got a little vehicle depot. It's just a bunch of Humvees. We just recently added these to the mod pack, so and we got a few little birds. Now, the reason why these guys are going to have these assets is a storyline element. We're using the PG Services mod this time around. I had to make a few changes to it to allow for Zeus, because before the config wasn't set up properly to allow Zeus to detect it. And I also added this off-road, which is a personal thing I like to do. I like to have these things roll in, and having to assemble them in Zeus manually all the time is kind of time consuming when you want to send things in really quickly. But other than that, the storyline aspect is that when we got attacked, a lot of our bases and things were abandoned, and some were destroyed, some of our assets were destroyed, but some things were salvageable. Now these guys are not a real PMC in their traditional sense. In this mission, they're just a bunch of militants that, they had a little bit of power before, but when the attack, we left a bunch of assets behind. They basically stole a bunch of our gear, a bunch of our kit, and on the bodies of our fallen comrades, they were able to build themselves up to become kind of a force. And now with their newfound kit and gear, they've been rolling through the sector, and they took over this location here, and they're moving in and fortifying it. Now, they haven't had a chance to fully build it up, so if ever we were going to take these guys on, now's the time. We happened to run across these guys because we were surveying the outskirts. We're trying to get in touch with Poseidon, which is our carrier group that brought us over here initially. We don't know why, but we can't reach them. So we've just been patrolling the shoreline, and we ran across all these assets being poured into this this castle over here, and yeah, that sets us up for this week. Now, I'm looking for kind of a more infantry intense fight this time around than last time. Now we're still using pre-made kits as opposed to Vast this mission. There will be a few boxes down to allow guys to swap things out, but let's get on with the actual build here. Now this is going to be my zone 1. So throw that down, and I'm going to spawn a few troops down here. Whoop, there we go. We'll spawn 3 initially, and I'm going to allow them to respawn twice. Now also this time around, we're actually not using any AI mods. We're just going to strictly use Gaia and MCC, and we're going to see how that works for us. Every other mission that you've seen us run, we've had FFIS and Gaia probably fighting for control over the AI troops, and you've seen some pretty derpy things happening with our AI. We're also going to fortify up this town here. I'm going to put 2 on fortify. And 3 on just whatever else. I'm going to build another zone that's going to be kind of a band. Really large zone. It's right through there. It's kind of the bigger conflict area. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in. Let's see, what do we want to say? Say 4 of these, so it's like 40 guys out there. We'll have them just patrol the zone as they see fit. And for the kind of last thing that I'm going to do here is, if I can find the airfield. So I'm going to throw in a helicopter. And we'll leave it to Gaia to, oops, I wanted an empty one, to decide what it's going to do with this helicopter, whether it's just going to sit here or it's going to patrol, whatever. We'll set that up in a second, but for the last thing that I want over here is going to be a little bird. That's probably going to drop some troops in at some point in the mission. Yeah, that'll work. Just leave them over there. Now we're going to go ahead and set these guys up to use Gaia. I'm sorry, not these guys, just the one helicopter here. These guys I'm going to do manually later on. Let's see what zone. Oh, that'll work. So you see the G, he's now a Gaia unit. And try to think. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot to fortify the roadblocks here. All right. Whoop. Help if I find the right location. I put a placeholder vehicle here. Get rid of that. Armed off-road. We have the little 50 caliber in there. So I should give him a little bit of a scare. But in addition to that, each one of these kind of vehicle positions they run into present an opportunity. It's, you know, do you just take it out really quickly, blow it up? I mean, that's obviously the safer option, but we also need assets. We don't have a lot of stuff. So everything that we run into here, we got to ask ourselves that question: are we going to blow this up? Or are we going to try to take it for ourselves? What are we going to do? It's an interesting aspect that we haven't really had to deal with in TFM before. It's new to everybody, so hopefully we'll make it work. And if you're wondering why I'm grabbing the squad leader for each unit instead of grabbing the actual turret gunner on these things, it's because when I tell the turret gunner to look away, he doesn't seem to care. But if I tell the squad leader to look that way, presumably everybody in your squad is going to look that way, including the gunner. So now we got to throw some guys up here. So I guess we can put a few more things into zone 3. Spawn 4 more of those guys. Keep that zone nice and packed. But I'm going to see what Guy does. I'm not going to do too much with, putting things on hills and this. I'm just going to let Guy do its thing. I want to see how it rolls this mission because I've never used it by itself before. I've seen the videos, it looked pretty impressive. So once they start seeing our guys, it ought to be pretty interesting. Like I said, it's my first time really trusting Gaia to do its thing without having FFIS or something else in the background. Just take one last look over this area here. Yeah, I think we're good. Probably bring some things in as the op rolls on, depending on how it goes. But for the most part, that is the world's most terrible setup or whatever. I wanted these guys to just stand in the line and wait here, but they it's like they don't know what to do with themselves. He looks confused. Just stay put. Or don't. Alright, anyway, I just want them near that helicopter so I can throw them in there. If you guys want to catch our ops, we do it every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. A lot of our guys stream. Some of our guys will upload it to YouTube afterwards. I know if you watch Kalash, he seems to be pretty consistent. If he's at the op, there will be a YouTube video on his channel. I'll have my perspective on my channel. I'll throw some links below, and I'll see you next time.